strong and feel the pulse.
Yeah. GNT Sports Talk, episode 128. Let's go. GNT Sports Talk, episode 128. Yeah, Captain speaking. I'm here on the ones and twos with my main man, Bird Gang, in the building.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Episode 128. Let's get it.
Tone, the promoter.
Yizzo, what's going on, people? GNT Sports Talk family. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode 128. Y'all already know who it is, man. The promoter, man. Enough of that. Let's get it.
Let's go. Hey, gentlemen, I just want y'all to know, look, it's been one of those weeks. I've been taking care of my wife this whole entire week. So the only thing I've been seeing has been the stove to my wife, making sure she's good, back to the stove to my wife. So I mean this humbly. It's so good to see y'all, brothers. It really is. It really is. It's been a long week, but I'm glad I get my time with my guys for this Wednesday to talk what we all love, and that's some sports. So, gentlemen, Tone, I'll start with you. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man, and likewise, man. It's always good, you know what I'm saying, to see, you know what I'm saying, some good brothers, man, some good family, wholesome guys, you know what I'm saying. I ain't just saying that, you know what I mean, to toot anybody on, man, but just giving flowers when, you know what I mean, we can still smell them. So, you know what I mean, like they say, man, birds of a feather, they flock together. So, always good to see y'all guys, chat with y'all guys, talk with y'all, man, and, to do what we love to do, talk sports, man. So, you know what I mean? Always best to wake up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? To see another day you ain't never seen before, you know what I'm saying? And they're my guys, man. So appreciate that, Cat. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing very, very well on this Wednesday night.
Go ahead, Jay.
Everything all good over here, man. Just you know what I mean? Got a big accomplishment for the family this past weekend. Got that monument set for moms and pops. Family showed up, did what it did. Like, man, listen, man, I'm just blessed to be here, blessed with my family, blessed with you guys being on this podcast. Look, man, episode 128, let's get it, man.
You got it. Look, so without any more delay, we already delayed our time of actually joining in. Sorry for a delay, but it's all right. I'm glad y'all guys are tuning in. My IG family, it's good to see y'all. Hey. Say hi to you too. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see y'all. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Be part of the conversation. So, Joel, I know you wanted to start off this conversation right on time with something that the NBA I know is definitely working on. What is that, sir?
Well, they're looking at changing up the whole structure as far as like the 65 game suspension and them not 65 game suspension. Players that are missing, that they need to play 65 games to qualify for the yearly annual awards like the MVP voting and stuff like that. Case in point with what just happened, we spoke about him specifically, Tone, about Cade Cunningham, how he's been balling over in Detroit, and he just suffered a injury that's going to have him miss those games that won't qualify him for any of those yearly awards. So it's something that they brought up and is on the table for discussion. So hopefully they, I don't know how you guys feel about that rule change. That's why I wanted to bring it up tonight. Whether you think they should be qualified for it if they do still miss, don't play a certain amount of games, or if they should be required to.
Go ahead, Tone. I'm actually curious to see what you think about this because a certain player would have benefited for the changing of this rule if that was the case. So I'm curious to see what you think about it, Tone. Go ahead. You can go first.
My thoughts on it, man, or like how I feel about that is, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, obviously that this happened to Cade Cunningham, you know what I mean? Right now at this point of the season, with obviously this rule change being in effect. Whereas though if he misses, obviously, like Joel said, if he doesn't play 65 plus games, he won't be eligible, for the award. And I really believe that rule was made because of this rest management, stuff that these players do. They were trying to get them obviously to, stop trying to do that and get them to play more. And like I get it, I get why, that rule was implemented, into that to try to get these guys to play. But like on the flip side, I think that maybe just as the voters, maybe they got to look at it a little bit different. Like where in a case like this, like, okay, if he was considered an MVP and he has a collapsed lung, like, okay, I think we can still consider this guy, like possibly for this award, a torn ACL, a blown Achilles, like, things that seriously like will obviously have you out of the ball game or, out of the sport in its entirety. And so I think you will have to probably just target those players who's doing that rest management. Like we all see it, we all know who it is. Like it's not anything hidden. Like, what I'm saying? These guys want to play with sprained pinky and things like that. Like, come on, man. Like, and I ain't taking shots at nobody personally, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to stop some of that type of behavior, don't reward it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if Cade Cunningham, didn't have a collapsed lung and he just want to sit out, just because it's a Saturday, then you know what I'm saying? Like that's a different thing. But hey, it is what it is, man. Like if that's what the NBA want to try to do, to think that these players, ain't going to miss no games and you want to shorten the season, it's still going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like take some of this money away, make it performance based. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't playing, they ain't getting paid. You know what I mean? Like point blank period. Like that's just what it is. It's like, hey, like, yeah, we get sick time at the job, you know what I'm saying? So we call out, we get paid, stuff like that. But dang, you just want to keep calling out every other day? Like, I don't know if that's really possible. But like I said, man, he's just like, all right, okay. So this year, I ain't even going front. Like, all right, it may stink that Cade Cunningham not going to be eligible for the award, but in my opinion, he wasn't the MVP of the league anyway. So I ain't trying to knock him, for missing the games and not being eligible. I just don't think he would have won the award anyway. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the favorite right now is Shea, but in my mind, like I said, my vote would be for Wemby, and obviously I would have him ahead of Cade. And I ain't going front, man. Even though he's been playing, he's going to probably, I guess, be eligible. Is obviously Joker. And then recently, man, I know y'all been seeing the boy Luka been balling. Luka been going crazy. They said ever since he lost his kids and his wife, he out there hooping. Like he really out there doing it. So I'm sure he's building the case for himself. So like I said, I don't think Cade would have won it anyway. But some players, obviously, we know, and then others, if they got a serious injury, you may still consider them, knowing that if they didn't get that kind of injury, they would have won.
So I believe this is First Lady of GNT, Miss Taya, with our other Instagram channel that she has. Author Tease. She thinks that that the ruling's fair. And she believes that the rule needs to be consistent. I definitely agree with that. But here's the thing. I find it quite curious, right? How rules change or how rules want to be changed when certain people are now included in that rule. Hopefully that makes sense. If it's certain names, Embiid, for example, he can't be MVP because the fact that he only played 63 games, he didn't hit the 65 games. Example, right? No problem. Keep the rule there. But Cunningham, or let it have been Ant, or let it have been Wemby. Oh, we need to change this rule right away. What?
Did you see the list? those names are on that list. Like if they miss a couple more games, they're not going to be eligible.
I know. All of a sudden now, those names that they want, all of a sudden, what? All of a sudden, they want to change the rules. You know what I mean? They want to change the game on some stuff. It's amazing how things change when certain names is now included in that. So am I surprised that they want to change it? No. Do they have to make a change when it comes to load management, which is the key point of this whole entire thing? Like you said, Tone, I think they need to, but I just find it amazing that rules want to change when certain names is now included in it. Just saying. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens this offseason. Will be NBA-wise will be interesting when it comes to rule changes and stuff like that. But they need to do something because all the key guys and what have you, nobody's staying healthy for a whole entire season. Like nobody.
Well, I think from my perspective, I think Tone was on to something as far as like if it's a very significant injury where the doctor rules them out for consecutive games, those are the type of injuries that shouldn't be counted towards the games missed. You know what I mean? So if they're out for like 2-3 weeks, but then they come back, like however many games it is, plus the games they missed throughout the season, you know what I mean? I think that should be looked at from that standpoint. But, in all fairness, like it does have to be an even playing field, and they do have to play those 65 games. It's not fair to other people that are on the floor. So one could argue, well, they were well rested. They didn't have, that many, miles on the treads or threads, whatever, of those tires, stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like it definitely should be looked at and just, I mean, it just sucks. And I know Tone has a very specific question for us on the Tone's top 5 that can go right into this, with the whole tanking, is it good for the game and stuff like that? Not to let that cat out of the bag, but that's definitely something that we got to look at, as fans and, from a sports standpoint. Only because I'll say that because of the fact, like, and we mentioned it before, where, you got Wemby coming in or Luka or LeBron or one of these top guys into different cities. And then if they're on load management, they're not, showing up for those fans that already purchased those tickets. But, that's my take on it. I just think they just got to look at it, as far as like, I think if they miss a significant amount of time and it was an obvious injury, like the one, with the Golden State player that just got, I think is it Moody, that just his kneecap, it looked like it came out of place. That was crazy. So obviously you see that type of injury, and if he was one that was on that threshold, that they should be able to make an exception because this was his best career year that he was having as a player, specifically as an individual.
Might have to get rid of back-to-backs, man. Might just get rid of the back-to-back games. You know what I mean? In the NBA, man, because you got these guys like to Joel's point about superstars may not be in there and people spending the money to go see them. And, you know what I mean? It's like they pick and choose which game they're going to want to play in. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, shit, if they playing in your city and you want to see that superstar and you spend the money and you get good seats and yes, he not playing on that back-to-back. You're like, what? Like, I paid this money to see this certain player. Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, what now? And it's just like, it's bad for the game, man. It's definitely bad for the game. So they need to, if they want these players to play, get rid of all the back-to-backs. Don't let these guys play no back-to-backs. Maybe cut down on a road trip. Some of them road trips be 7, 8, 9 game road trips. Like, no, man. Let me cook that. Some people don't be, I guess, and that's more traveling too. Like, you going to all these cities, like, I don't know. Maybe cut some things out in the league and it'd be better for the players.
Look, my only problem is with the idea of if it's a real injury and they got doctors. I mean, I never heard of a doctor ever fudging anything just to make sure that a certain player or a certain team actually get what they want. Hey, come on. So, I mean, I can go ahead and, and easily say like, oh, well, how do I know that injury is actually real? because of the
No,
fact
well,
that
what I'm specifically trying to say and point out from that standpoint is when they miss a significant amount of games consecutively. Like if they out with a hamstring or like, it like Tone's point is a back to back and they're like, all right, we're gonna sit them out on that second game, then we got a day off, and then we play the following day. That game should count towards their games missed. But if someone clearly, rolled their ankle and they're out 5, 6, 7 consecutive games, then that's specifically from a doctor. You know what I mean? That they just aren't physically able to go. So that would deem it as a long-term, injury versus more of it like it. Even if it was, they got put out for a rolled ankle for a game, or two, that will count going towards the games that that they weren't out for a significant amount of time. Just like some of these guys get put out 3-4 weeks. Those are the type of injuries that I'm talking about not being counted towards that.
I got you, Mr. Norris, Mr. Hunter. It's good to see you, bro. It's good to see you. He said he's not going to be here for long. Do we allow mods on the channel? Not yet. We're working on that as we go. The larger this channel goes, the more options we'll have when it comes to mods and stuff like that. But trust me, bro, as soon as we're able to go ahead and apply that, you'll be one of the first ones that I think of when it comes to applying that too. So appreciate you as always, man. Keep on. I know you can't be here for too long, but we'll take whatever comments you have as long as you're here, bro. But it's always good to see you and have your presence here, man. Check out IG real quick. The rule at 65 games. That's too many variables. Okay, so hold on. I'm sorry. Kane Digital is on IG. Not to mention the main man D-Boy is also in the building as well. Good to see you. It's good to see y'all as well. I got you, but when you go live, we always go live on Wednesdays. It's always on Wednesdays, unless something happens time-wise or family-wise, and we have to move it either a day forward or back. We usually kind of give a head notice on IG when we have to do that. But for the most part, out of this 128 episodes that we had, yeah, we've been here on Wednesdays. Did I say something wrong? I see y'all laughing.
It's all good. Keep going, Cap.
Okay. There you go. Always on Wednesdays. Okay, I wonder what I said. Okay, I guess I wanted to rewatch that in order for me to see exactly what happened. I appreciate y'all professionalism as we keep it moving.
I'm sorry that we do this show live, man, because I can't. Yo, man, you just said, listen, the notice that he gets,
it's on the IG comments, Cap.
I'm not getting that kind of notice. But listen, we would.
Oh God, really?
We would inform the people and our fans of when we would reschedule the program.
Look, and Tone didn't say what you said, what he heard you say, and I'll put it on the IG comments just so we know. But it's all good. We digress. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Hey, Cat, man, I love you, man. You a wild boy, man. You a wild boy.
Whatever. Okay, we're gonna keep this thing. We're gonna keep this ball rolling as we go on to the next subject. The ball rolling is what is the problem?
Yeah, you know what's the funny part is that you're being very selective right now on everything you're saying.
Absolutely, Hunter. Take care of yourself, man. Look forward to seeing you next week, bro. Look forward to seeing you next week. I appreciate you more than you know right now because you just broke this whole entire weirdness that's going on right now. So I appreciate you, bro. You take care of yourself, man. See you next week. All right, well, it's about that time, people. It's time for Tone's Top 5. Tone, I'm going to put the camera on you. I'm watching my words. Let's go.
Yeah, what it do, y'all? What's going on, man? Y'all already know who it is. Like he just said, man, it's me, Tone the Promoter, man, and y'all are locked into the best segment in Sports Talk Podcast, man. Tone's Top 5. We're going to break down, obviously, we're going to break down some of the biggest stories in sports. You know what I mean? Some drama, some disrespect, you know what I'm saying? And did he just do that moment of the week? Yeah, we're going to get into all that, man. So sit back, man. Turn that volume up, man. Like I said, you're locked in to Tone's Top 5, man. We're going to go with question number 1. NFL offseason moves. In y'all opinion, who actually got better? What you think, Kat?
The Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams. As soon as they pretty much traded for or signed the whole entire Kansas City secondary almost, and that was their weakness from last year, the secondary, man, the Los Angeles Rams looks like a total different team, like defensively, and you already know what they're able to do offensively. So if I was to say any team that actually made a difference this offseason, and it should be night and day, it should be the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to be a dangerous team this year if they stay healthy.
Yeah. I like that. What you think, Joel?
Same division, different teams. San Francisco 49ers. Dumb. Oh, my God. Listen, they made those few moves, but more importantly, if they get a bounce back from them injuries that they had, I think the 49ers are going to definitely be a team that's going to be – it's going to be another crazy year for that division because obviously the Super Bowl champs are in that division.
Yep.
Obviously, we're not going to talk about the Cardinals, but – you know, like it's just that division's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, man. So, you know what I mean? I couldn't agree, obviously, with both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you know what I mean? The Rams got better, like you said, was already a top team. And I ain't going front. I do believe that they are probably right now the favorites to win the NFC. If obviously, you know what I mean? We had to take an educated guess. And I do believe Seattle has digressed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, they lost some key, you know what I mean, key players. And like Joel said, the 49ers, obviously, was always a good team, you know what I'm saying? And to the key additions that they've made, they're going to be a better team for sure, man. Like I said, I agree with both of y'all. But obviously, I'm glad that you two guys gave, obviously, a different answer. And I'm going to give a different answer. And I think a team who's gotten better, who was actually getting better last year, and we've seen it, surprisingly, is the Carolina Panthers, man. I looked at and I really reviewed what they did, man, this offseason. They shored up offensive line, man. I think they got him a guard, they got him a center. You know what I mean? They shored up a couple of defensive spots out there. I think they signed Jalen Phillips. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. And like I said, they showed some promise last year. They was in some ball games. You know what I'm saying? They beat some quality, you know what I mean, teams last year. And like I said, Bryce Young played very well last year, very well. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't obviously like, you know what I mean, top of the league type play, but you know what I mean, played the game very well, man. And so my answer, man, I think the Carolina Panthers have gotten better. You know what I mean, from what they were last year. And to in other news, since Kat, you chose the Rams, did y'all hear about, we don't have to talk about it, but I'm just going to throw this out here, that Rams Puka Nacua is sued over alleged anti-Semitic remark and a bite on his shoulder from a lost woman in Los Angeles. Puka, what are you doing, brother? What are you doing?
He's hungry for the win. He's hungry.
Yeah, he's super hungry. Question number 2. The biggest fraud team right now. And this is, your answer could be any sport. Joel, what you got?
Oh, man, this was a tough one because, man, all right, so right off the rip for damn, who did I go with first? I was sitting there thinking about this. damn. Because at first, like from an NFL's perspective, I was sitting there like, damn, I think I want to go with the Cleveland Browns. But listen, man, it's the Cowboys. If you look at what the definition of fraudulent is and how short they've been coming up every single year, I mean, we what 30 years removed from them like being very competitive and making it far just because of the hype. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, like if you look up again, like the definition of fraudulent and transfer that into sports, you like always talk about them, like as far as like the fan base being a very big fan base and then the owner talking a good game. And, then you look at the things of how they actually handle the organization where, I don't want to say because one of the words on there is dishonesty, but, like the dishonesty part, I would say comes in where, like you're not paying your players when you should be ahead of that curve and Dak's your quarterback and you wait to pay him. A CD Lamb's the top receiver and you wait to pay him. You was playing around with the top defensive guy on your team when you had Parsons. So those are the type of things where I'm saying, like, as far as like the fraud, like the way they being ran as the biggest fan base and them coming up short year after year after year after year, is just like, like they say, the bigger the bark, the smaller the dog, like all that type thing, like all those type things like that. I just like at first, because I'm like, all right, every year we go into the season, the Cleveland Browns are gonna be they're frauds. They're not really frauds because we know they're gonna stink. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So you got different teams like that I was looking at, and then I looked at it from a whole different view. I was like, let me look up what the word fraudulent really means and broke it down by definition. And I'm looking at it and applying it to different teams. And it's a team that thinks they're good, or that the organization or they thought of very highly, but people get the rug pulled underneath them all the time. Being a Cowboys fan, but I definitely I just pivoted and I selected the Cowboys, not because of my hate, because I'm an Eagles fan, just because every year like it's just like this big old hype. Yeah, Cowboys, we them boys, this and this and that, and it's like, bro, like every year is like the same thing. You know what I mean? So that's why I ended up going back to that. But I consider the Cleveland Browns. I consider the Arizona Cardinals. In basketball, it was another team that I thought of, but I'm gonna go let Larry answer this part, and I'll get back to you on the other two teams that I had.
I say you're gonna take all the squads, bro. All right, so
I know that's why I didn't want to say nothing, but those were the three teams I was like, but then because I'm like, all right, we don't really anticipate the Cleveland Browns doing anything year over year over year. But then every year during the offseason draft, leading up to the preseason, oh my God, the Cowboys are gearing up for another run, and it's just all this hype, and then it's just nothing. You know what I mean?
Yep. So I'm gonna give two answers. More like a 1A and a 1B. Obviously, 1A would be my top answer. My 1B will actually be the New York Knicks. Because it feels like every single year it feels like everybody wants them to do well. Everybody hypes them up. As soon as they got Cat, oh, that's all they needed. They got Bridges. Oh, they needed that small forward to go ahead and do blah 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 blah. And he's defensive. And they got all the Villanova boys. They're going to be every year. It feels like there's something that's hyped up about the New York Knicks, and they just falter almost every single year. Now, I may have to eat my words if they actually perform this year in the playoffs. But for right now, I'm going to say that they're fraudulent. But they're not my number one fraudulent team, because I have to look at it from the point of view of what team always get the hype and has not delivered lately. There's been 2 teams that's been on that list. Joel said one, and usually the other one is usually have fans from the first one. Usually, if you're a Cowboys fan, you usually love the Yankees. That's usually what I see. It's like Cowboys fans, Yankee fans. The Yankees is going to be my 1A. This is not the 80s. It's not the 90s no more. Like why the Yankees get the hype that they get every single year, I have no idea. Judge has not shown anything, in September and October. No matter who they end up getting, and they always get the best because they always have the most amount of money. Besides the Dodgers. The Dodgers, I don't know where they get all that money from to sign all their players for like $600 million contracts. But nonetheless, Yankees, man, that's my squad of fraudulency, besides the Cowboys, which is what Joel said, and I said the New York Knicks. But that's just me. Tom, what you got?
Hey, man,
I got the basketball team, but go ahead, Tom. Or I don't know
what
you say.
What you got? Go ahead.
The LA Clippers. That was the basketball team because I went through and I'm like, yo, every year, like especially like lately with the whole Kawhi thing and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm like looking back and I'm like, damn, they did put together some good teams. And again, like I think they're just so used to living in that shadow of the Lakers. They always get a little buzz and a little hype because they're right there, obviously, as well. But I always feel like they're another fraudulent team like that puts together a few good teams, and then, by the end of the year, it's just going to fall apart. But that was the other team again. Me just going overthinking this whole thing and looking up the word fraudulent as a dictionary and what it states on there, and then looking at, because they usually have a very good or known coach on their team, Doc Rivers, but we all know about that experience. But they always get a good coach because of the LA ties and all that. Then they always get some players to go there, but again, they just always come up short.
Yeah, I just had to piggyback off of what y'all said, man. Looking up looking up the definition of fraudulent. Not that I did, but obviously the correct answer to that question is obviously yes, it is the Dallas Cowboys because like they said, the hype and the media coverage, and what I mean. Like it's like what's the thing that's going to sell in sports? What's something to talk about, something that gets people riled up. You know what I mean? The NFL probably loves the fact that they haven't won in so long because of what it brings every year and how it looks, and you know what I mean. Talking about them, it creates ratings, and everything is about money and ratings. So, like I said, the correct answer is definitely the Cowboys. And to Cap's point, you know what I mean, in the NBA, it definitely is the New York Knicks, and everything's big in New York because if you said the Yankees, you know what I mean. So they want New York to be obviously they call it the Big Apple, right? And the Knicks ain't won grip, you know what I mean? The MSG where they play at is the Mecca of the NBA. It's historic. Like you score 50 there, like you're goated. Like it's just like everything like seems to have to run through New York, you know what I'm saying? As like a big feat or something like that you did in your career. So yeah, I like I said, I just agree with both of y'all, you know what I'm saying, with the answers and with the Knicks and the Cowboys to that question.
Ty said the Sixers.
Sixers. No, but dude, like I said, once you said
I don't think every year the Sixers was coming in looking at us to be the team to beat in the East.
No,
I don't think that ever was this. They wasn't.
It
was only hyped up. They would only hype it up. I think the Sixers was hyped up a few years. Obviously, maybe they was hyped up a little bit when Chris Webber came. They was hyped up a little bit when Glenn Robinson came. I guess I don't think we was hyped up when we signed Paul George. I don't think we didn't say we was gonna win a championship. I don't think we all jumped on this podcast and never said that. Like they probably the Knicks got more buzz than the Sixers as far as that goes. Like expectation to win. You know what I mean? Like
New York was going crazy for sure.
You see what they was doing when they won the first round? They was in the streets. they was going crazy.
Yeah, they really were.
I like you've been there before.
All right, man. So, question number 3. The NBA. Tanking versus competing. Is tanking smart or ruining the league? Cat, what's your thoughts?
Jesus. Tanking versus competing. I think all these teams that ended up trying to compete and then they all get hurt and then they just start tanking because of it. It's such a hard dynamic to really to come up with that real answer. Is like you want, if you don't have a chance in the world, obviously because of the lottery, the worse you play, the better you pick. The better you have an opportunity to get that, that changer, that game changer, and what everybody wants. But it feels as though the teams that always end up doing that don't end up working it out the way that it's supposed to. So I'm always going to be in the point of view of you want to compete. So I'm always going to say compete. And then they end up, if y'all just aren't good after you compete, then you end up getting the draft position that you're looking for. But I'm never going to say tank because that's not fair to the people that's paying. That's not fair to the fans at home watching on TV. It's just not fair. You know what I mean? It's, you don't want to see your team. Nobody wants to see the team lose, but nobody wants to really see their team just like throw in the towel and and you got like a quarter of the season left. So yeah, I'm always going to say competing.
Joe.
So when did tanking start?
Sixers.
No, I'm just saying when did it start? When did it initially started like getting dropped? Like the tanking thing. Like when the draft became the lottery.
Yes.
To me, that's when the tanking terminology started coming up because now you didn't necessarily have to be the worst team to obtain the top pick. You just had to be one of the lottery teams. Case in point, wink, wink, Luka trade, blah, 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 and somehow you get the first pick. To me, is a conspiracy that Dallas got that first pick and got Cooper Flag after giving up Luka. I don't care what you say.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like that, something with them lottery, whatever happened, like to me, something like that happened. Due to the fact that, again, I think for sure the support. I don't. First off, let me answer the question. Support and tanking, I do not condone that. However, like when teams know that, all right, if we're not going to be in that plan, do you really want to be in the plan or do you want to sit there and be in the lottery? That's where I think the teams are at that crossroad of like, all right, we lose 5-6 games, we're in the lottery and we got a chance to get, and depending, like we just talked about, with the sports mecca for basketball being, MSG and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like they want certain teams to be good and do well. Case in point, again, Luka getting traded to the LA Lakers for injured AD, and then somehow by the way the ping pong balls fell and Dallas got the first pick when they had like the 5th or 6th best chance of getting the first pick. So even those lottery odds, you still don't even get that. I would say go back to the way it was. The worst team gets the first pick. At least now you have to tank so bad to get to that first pick, the second pick, third pick. And it's just structured from the last team to the first team. Like the way it is in the NFL. You make the playoffs, they bump you out. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because if I know I'm in that bubble where I can make the play in and all that stuff, I'll just be like, nah, bro, I'm not just throwing the towel, to Larry's point, throwing the towel because I'm trying to get into the lottery to get one of those game changers and and a possible franchise player. But I would say it's definitely bad for the game because of the fact that what I mean. We as the fans are the ones paying for it. Like I would hate to be in that situation where you already know your team is ass going into the season, and then on top of it, you just got to sit there through a whole year and let them tank. And then the way the NBA is designed, you can't win with one special talent. You need to tank numerous years and hit on those lottery picks and select the right players to get at least 2 or 3 of them, and maybe you could add a few pieces on to, with through free agency onto the team that can help.
Exactly what Ty just said. Like the Sixers trust the process. No, they went ahead and did the tanking aspect, and they did the legit tanking aspect. They literally just didn't have talent, so they lost because the talent that they had wasn't in comparison to the teams that they was playing against. So they did tank correctly. They tanked competitively because they was trying to win. They just couldn't win. But just like you said, Joel, they didn't land the players the way that they really were supposed to. If Fultz and Ben, Tone's favorite player ever, would have actually been those players that they were drafted to be, can you imagine what this team would actually look like right now? If you had those guys and now you add like a Maxey, obviously we probably wouldn't have a VJ if that was the case. But imagine having a Maxey with this team, with that team, if all of those guys end up being what they were supposed to be. I mean, but they gotta hit, those picks gotta hit. But
that's why it's called the price mess. You know what I'm saying? That shit was a mess. That shit is a mess. But tanking is cooking the game, man. It is cooking the game. Like we said, from a fan standpoint, man, it stinks for us. If your team ain't good or they got a couple of injuries, they just gonna get some guys off the couch and go ahead and play and act like they giving a crap, but they really not. And that's also just eliminating, half of the league, as far as competing for a title. You know what I mean? And like Joel said, like I said, it's just certain teams, that has an advantage, or that's the front runner, so to say, as far as winning, or advancing, far in the playoffs. So, I don't know if these teams out here trying to be like OKC as far as getting all that draft capital that they got, turning it into what they turned it into,
right.
Drafting, but it just worked for them. They got the right players and the right system, right coach, and all that came together for them, So, very few, teams that have done it like that. And it just seems like of course it's working for them because they still looking like obviously the favorite, again, to make a deep playoff run. So, but if you don't do it right, like I said, it stinks for a fan, paying our money to go to see these games, seeing these G League players, and then it's just like, hey, maybe the ratings, gonna slip because nobody want to watch that stuff, or the attendance, gonna slip. People ain't gonna want to go to the games. That's why I know y'all seen reports of tickets being like $2, that go to games. And it's just like, well, how could you really go online and pay for an NBA professional basketball game to get a ticket for $2? Now, mind you, probably paying like 23 because of the fees and everything that you're gonna pay, but still, the ticket price was only $2. Like, that's crazy to me, man. So tanking ain't good because, like I said, you're gonna lose all that revenue, that money just for a draft pick. But that's how we looking at it as a fan now. The NBA is looking at it as a business. Like, and I'm trying to run my business accordingly. If they're gonna let me run my business like that, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Even if I'm doing it, blindly or doing it in plain sight. It's allowed to happen because it ain't been no penalties for, this tanking stuff. Y'all know they resting these players, for bogus injuries or having doctors say, yeah, it's got hurt worse than, what he really is. And it's just like, you're doing this, you got the first round, you top 5 pick 3 years in a row and you still stink. You ain't good at tanking. You know what I'm saying? So why are you doing it? Just go out there and try to, compete, man. But like I said, cooking the game. That is cooking the game, man.
Hey, so imagine also when they add these 2 new teams. That's another additional, what, 30, 36 players, depending if they do on 15 and 18, 18 players on the roster.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But 15, suit up, whatever. It's crazy, man. I I just don't. That's why I was personally like against it with us. Well, I don't want to say with us, but with the NBA adding two additional teams because I feel like it's already diluted as much as possible. You know what I mean? So I know they could probably get some players, but the quality of the teams, and then you're looking at the teams that have the super teams, with the 2 to 3, stars per team that are, going there intentionally during their free agency, is just diluting everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really think, in all honesty, what will help this whole entire tanking thing, implement Tone, what you just got finished saying earlier, no back-to-backs. How about this? Don't make it 80-plus games anymore. No, shrink it to like 75.
But all right. So, but now, if we do that, we got to take. Do we still give these players these contracts? Like the amount that they be? You taking away games? You got to take some away this chicken. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that'd be too wise to do. You know what I mean? Because shit, I bet the players would want to, shave the season down. So I can still make 50 million and I ain't got to play. You want to take 10, 15 games off the rock? Oh yeah, I'm for that. Hell yeah. So no, I don't. That'd be something. You know what I mean, to see if they decided to shorten the games. Like, are these players still will get these crazy contracts?
Good question.
And the piggyback off of what you said about the 2 teams, Joel, is obviously I don't know if you heard, but the NBA owners, voted to explore obviously the Vegas and the Seattle expansion bids. And the bidding process is expected to generate offers in the 7 to 10
10 bill.
range.
That's crazy.
So we definitely gonna keep our eyes, glued to that and see who, gonna put their name in that hat, man. It's gonna be crazy, interesting. But question number 4. MLB opening night is upon us, fellas. What predictions for the season do you have, and who is your sleeper team for the year? Joel, it's on you.
Predictions for the year for the Philadelphia Phillies. Listen, like I said last year, say it again this year. I love the Phils. Have the tat on my bicep. Philadelphia Phillies. Let's go. However, I am waiting to September to see what we got because of the fact that this team, man, like they got the talent. Again, it did not help that the Dodgers got stronger. However, they were able to make it happen. They made it happen again, and they got some firepower over there. So we're gonna need someone to get a DUI, someone to get caught with PEDs, somebody to have a domestic issue over in the Dodgers, and an injury. For something to go our way. But as far as prediction for the Phillies, man, listen, man, it's a wait and see for me, man. Like these guys they kept some of the players that we talked about where we were like, I don't know, we would have paid Schwarber. I don't know, we would have done this. They let someone go like Bader that we wanted to keep. And there's still some guys that are questionable on this roster that we, quite frankly, wanted to see leave. However, I do think we got incrementally better, like a little bit better. But again, it's just a wait and see. I really didn't like the fact that we lost Ranger. That's one thing for sure. But again, I'm at a wait and see, man, because I think the team that's assembled, they should be doing more than what they've done in the previous years during the postseason. So that's where I'm at with the Phillies. As far as a sleeper team, I couldn't really pick one just because of the fact that I haven't really been tapped into it. But for the Phillies, that's my take on the Phillies for sure.
All right, so just in case, and make sure that I can tell you, Tone, that I paid attention to the question. The question wasn't, how do you feel about the Phillies in this season? What's your prediction? He was straight to my team, the Phillies.
That's my prediction. I'm going right to it. What prediction you want? What you going to predict a winner?
Yeah,
if I had to predict a winner, okay, the Dodgers are going to win again.
He said the MLB. He went straight. Oh, my team. It's all about me. My team, the Philadelphia Phillies. This is what I think. Okay, so I want to go a little opposite. So, though, I'm going to predict to you right now, Tone, that the New York Yankees is not going to win the championship this year. I can predict that. I'm also going to predict that the New York Mets is not going to win the championship this year. And if there was to be, that team, it's almost impossible right now for anyone to not say that right now the Dodgers is that squad. The Dodgers is like the creme de la creme. They the top of the top. That's the team that everybody's definitely chasing right now. So it'll be dumb of any of us to go ahead and say that it's not the Dodgers. But if there was a team that would be a sleeper, and this is where my homerness comes in, Joel, I'm sure you'd be happy. I think a sleeper team would probably be us. We're probably
sleeper.
Yes.
We've been asleep in the postseason for the last 2-3 years. We've been sleeping.
Steph Curry, yes.
All the bats been sleeping. That's the only thing sleeping. We're not a sleeper team.
We're a sleeper team now, bro.
We're a team that's been underperforming with the amount of payroll and the stardom power that goes like completely non-existent for whatever reason in the playoffs. Like, case in point, like what just happened in freaking the World Baseball Classic. If it wasn't for the last game, everybody would have been still talking about Harper. That he hasn't came through again at the biggest stage. Sleeper team.
The Phillies are a sleeper team, bro. I don't care what you say. They would sleep so long. They underperformed so long. Now they went from underperforming to straight sleeper. They're a sleeper team. Nobody's expecting the Phillies to do anything.
They falling asleep on the wheel. That's what they doing. By the way, somebody sent me that video that surfaced again. The guy that went to court.
Oh.
That they thought it was you.
That's not even funny, bro.
Yeah. No, but they're not a sleeper team. They fall asleep on the wheel in October for sure. The bats for sure. The pitching was there, and we need Wheeler to get back. But a sleeper team for me is a team that we don't think is going to be good or wasn't that very good last year that comes out of nowhere.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. But
okay.
Now what's funny?
Philly's a sleeper team.
And what's funny about this question is, if Kat just pointed out that Joel didn't answer the question right, the first part of the question, right? And now Joel said you didn't answer the second part. Oh man, I love it.
So you got a good prediction from him, and
from both of y'all.
Up for the sleepers.
Y'all was both sleep on one half of the question. So I'll try to be woke on both of these questions or these answers that I give, man. And my prediction is obviously right down on paper, like you just said, Kat, we would be a fool to not think that the LA Dodgers right now are the favorite and that they will win the World Series back to back. You know what I'm saying? They got the most dynamic player in baseball in Ohtani, man. That team is crazy. Like I said, the addition of all the guys that they got, and I really think they got one of the best athletes in baseball, Mookie Betts. That boy can do everything, yo. He can play basketball, he can play football, he bowl, like my man, everything, man. Like so Dodgers is a great team, but I'm gonna have to. You're gonna be a little upset, Kat, probably because I think the opponent is gonna be the Yankees. I think they're gonna turn it around this year, and I think they're going to, be a powerhouse and win the AL. So That's my prediction on the obviously baseball season. But of course, I'm a homer just like y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? Just like you, Joel. I got the Phillies tattoo. You know what I mean, on my arm, and I don't know if I want to go to the extreme. Joel just laid out. You know what I'm saying? With what the Phillies may need, obviously, to win and be that team. You know what I'm saying? Man. But obviously, hopefully, and prayerfully, man, the Phillies could do it this year, man. Like you said, the bats don't fall asleep in the playoffs, man. The pitching, you know what I mean? What they projecting, man, is top tier. So we just gotta, like I said, we just gotta bring the bats, man, and just hopefully they don't go to sleep. But to wake y'all up on my sleeper team, man, from, you know what I'm saying? I had to do some research, you know what I'm saying? And looked around the league, and the team who I want to actually go down on paper. I don't know if one of y'all want to jot this down, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be a sleeper team that may make some noise in the AL is the Baltimore Orioles. Like they actually right now are poised to be, you know what I'm saying, the next team on the rise from the AL, man. So my sleeper team is going to be the Baltimore Orioles. I see you made a face cat. Like, who's that?
Nah. Because I was sitting here thinking, like really? But then you really look at how the team performed the last 2 years, and they have been on point. I mean, at one point, they were the team of the year. Like, I want to say, like 2 years ago. So I understand that. I get it. I had to check myself on that one. Like, no, that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
You know what it is? It's just the hate right now that I have with anything connected to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So he says that Baltimore. Well,
dang, it's because Lamar play there. You hate everything in Baltimore. You hate the harbor too, man. Come on, man. Dang.
You see, the Baltimore Orioles won 75 games and were last in their division, so that qualifies them as a sleeper team. Not the first place Phils with 96 wins.
Yo, he's not letting off.
Just in case. Sleeper team.
Hey, sleeper. Okay.
Awful, okay.
Hey, Cap,
you ain't sorry.
You better go to get a sleeper team, bro. You better go get a sleeper team.
They only won the division.
Rounding you up
they
for
won 96 games, but they're the sleeper team.
Yes.
The first place Phils are a sleeper team.
They're not the first place Phils and the whole entire MLB.
By the way,
Cat, that is
the second winning of this team in the MLB, because the only other team that had more wins was the Milwaukee Brewers at 97. But they're a sleeper team. Cap's like, I really hate you right now.
They have actually been awake, Cap. I don't know why you think a sleeper.
The Bats have been sleeping.
They are expected. So wait.
They're not expected to win nothing. That's why they're a sleeper. They're not expected to win the championship.
No. Cap, nothing. They not probably projected to win the division. Are you kidding me?
I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up.
All right. It's just that their odds ain't probably the highest.
That's why they're a sleeper to win. I'm calling them a sleeper to win.
They probably top 5.
Ooh, number 5, the Philadelphia Phillies at plus 1600.
That's not a sleeper team, bro. That's not a sleeper team.
So Dodgers favored to win 220. The Yankees plus 1,000. Seattle Mariners plus 1,100. The New York Mets 1,300. The Philadelphia Phillies at plus 1,600.
And so look, damn, the odds of the Mets winning. So they might be favored to win the division. Right? If their odds is better to win the championship, then they got to be favored to win the division.
Tony, the Orioles aren't that far behind, but I definitely agree because it was the last place.
That's why, though. But that's why
this year they're plus 2,000, so they're like in the middle of the pack. But not the first place Phils from last year. It's all good.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, Cap.
I'm going to let it go.
Wait. Did y'all just see? Did the Sixers score 157 tonight?
They haven't.
Did it? Oh,
157. They scored 157.
Sheesh.
They just scored 157, man. What's going on out here?
Tanking works.
I don't know if it's like any kind of indictment on the team, but the Bulls scored 137. Why let the team score 137 points?
Did somebody have 90 points?
It was
83 points? Who had 83 points?
They was playing that All-Star game defense. But who was the leading scorers and all that? Like anybody got box score?
I'm gonna pull it up. You got it. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and ask the last final question in Tone's top 5.
Okay, just in case, just to answer your question real quick. Embiid 35, Paul George 28, VJ 22, Grimes 13, Barlow 9, Payne off the bench for 15, Edwards 12. Everybody else is a little bit of the onesies, the twosies, fours, sevens. Terry has 7.
That's
and
great.
Just in case, Bulls wise to see a name jump out like crazy. No, just Gritty with 23. Yeah, Miller with 15. Jones 15. Nothing crazy. Saxton 16. Okay, there you go.
Okay. BG with 28. I gotta see when he got that 28. But he might get drug tested again. He better not been on no, you know what I'm saying, nothing during the suspension. He gets suspended again, dummy. But question 5, man. Question 5. Which athlete right now would you go pay to watch even when your team's not playing? Who that be, Joel?
It's kind of let me see. Because you're saying which team, if it's not my team, who I would go see. I mean, I actually did it when we went to Milwaukee because it was a good game. We went to go see KD and Giannis because I never saw them play. But if I did have to pay, like I'm not going to go out my way. I don't want to say I'm not going to go to LA to do it, but I definitely want to see Ohtani because I think he's just one of them guys. And then I definitely got to catch one of them games that Wemby come into town.
Yeah,
those are the two that just because what they've been doing for the game, especially Ohtani, and preferably a game that he's pitching, so you can see both, him hitting and obviously pitching.
Okay.
Now, just in case, just want to preface this correctly. You're talking about players that's playing now, not like past players that you can go back and possibly see, right?
Yeah, nah, somebody right now.
Okay. So I'm on the same page with with you when it comes to Wemby, because Wemby is that guy, and I wanted to see this year, it didn't happen. The MB versus Wemby, I wanted to go to San Antonio to see that, but obviously Embiid was hurt, and things happen. But no, it probably would be Wemby, especially if I want to go like NBA wise, NFL wise. This is where kind of like my brain, like, who would I want to see? Actually, like up close and personal, like field wise, and I keep going back to, because I didn't get a chance to see them live. I want to see Saquon. I want to be able to go the championship year, I didn't get a chance to to actually go to the game live, because we was doing our thing over at Dimensions Bar over in Northeast. That's where we go. That's where you can find us. Probably throwing the Eagle season next year, so prepare for all that stuff. Anyway, we was paying attention so much to the to going to Dimensions to watch the game together as a crew, that we never had the opportunity to actually go to the game and actually see him live. So I wanted to see him live as a as an Eagle. Especially, God, I could only imagine what it would have been like to see Saquon that championship year going against the Jags when he jumped over the ball backwards. I would love to have seen that live. So right now it'll probably be Saquon for me. I'm always going to go running back first, pretty much when it comes to my Mount Rushmore players on the NFL that I want to see.
Nice, cool. I was saying that even if it wasn't for your team, but it was cool. I'm glad you. But you did say Wemby. You did say Wemby. And then obviously the player you want to see is Saquon. And like obviously, what you said, Joel. Obviously, I gotta agree. Wemby, that dude's a freak, man. You know what I'm saying? Like for his height, and the things that he can do on the basketball court, crazy. So you definitely, whatever you want to spend your money on, to go see a player, he would definitely be that guy. And like you said, to your point, man, Otani, man, he pitching, crushing 489,000 feet home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, is that guy. You know what I mean? Baseball. So definitely want to spend your bread to go see them two players. But you know what I mean? I'm a 1A and 1B. And in basketball, I'll say that a player that I definitely would want to go see play or I'll spend my bread on that I don't play for my team is Anthony Edwards. I want to see boy, you know what I'm saying, like get busy, you know what I mean, in person, man, because he is definitely, you know what I mean, one of them guys, man, and somebody who's on the rise, obviously, you know what I'm saying, in the NBA. And football, who I just want to see maybe because it's greatness, man, but Pat Mahomes, you know what I'm saying, like I want to, you know what I mean, go to a game where, you know what I'm saying, and he, he in his bag and, delivering out there, man. Because obviously witnessing it, watching the way we do as a fan, watching the games, on TV, it's just a different effect when you're there at the games. You know what I'm saying? We've all been to a game, and like I said, somebody like that. And you know what's crazy too, man, and obviously a little sports fact, that I actually got to see Tom Brady, you know what I mean, play in person, man. I seen when he was with Tampa, the game was in Dallas. You know what I mean? But what was crazy about that? What's crazy about that is he didn't really have like a good game. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a great game. Like the game stunk actually. It was like 14-12, I think the final score was, and the Cowboys they lost that game, and that was it was the opening week of the season for the Cowboys, and I don't know if they're probably but it was a game where Dak had broke his thumb. He had like threw the pass. I think it hit one of the Linemen's.
That's right.
And I remember, it was crazy being at that game, right? So obviously we seen him go in the blue tent, and then we seen him run to the locker room. Now I forget who the backer was. They might have been Dawson. And I know that they just bring him in, and then like Dak don't come in for the rest of the game. Like, damn, what happened? Then get the reports that he out, weeks or whatever. But yeah, man, Pat Mahomes, football would be somebody I think right now I will pay to go see my bread, in football. So Wemby and Mahomes. Oh no, I'm sorry, and Edwards. And Mahomes.
Well, Mahomes is already throwing.
101 days, bro.
That's crazy. 32 minutes ago, they just did the update. He's got a leg brace on and already throwing. That's insane.
Doing drop backs too and throwing off the back foot. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Yo, are they putting bionic ACLs back in these? Like what? Like 3?
Listen, the way Tatum came back.
10 days, dog.
Yeah, the way Tatum came back too, man. Like,
yeah,
just different healing. I guess advanced technology from all the data they got with these injuries now. What to do?
Yo, I was just watching like highlights from like the 2024 and 25 season, like the highlights. I still say one of the best passes I've seen in a long time. Now, granted, it was in the Super Bowl, Eagles, Chiefs. That last dime that Mahomes threw, that was 60-yard pass to Worthy. Yo, a straight missile, 60 yards in the straight dot. Family. Like Mahomes is unreal, bro.
Yeah, not even that. Just those no-look ones that he does like normal. Like he's on some just throwing the opposite way without looking. Like he's definitely different, man. I definitely had him as the football player, but I'm not paying no other NFL team to see them unless the Eagles is playing. That's it. And you know he don't play good against us, Tom. So that'll be a waste of money if in case he does come into town and you want to see Patty come in.
No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't go to that game anyway. I would go see him somewhere else. Only because I would want to, I want to go see, other stadiums and shit like that. You know what I mean, as well too. And then obviously seeing somebody like that,
Arrowhead.
I wouldn't want to see him here. To be honest, I ain't no shade. I ain't throwing no shade in that. I wouldn't want to see him here. But the football point that I want to just bring out, I don't know if y'all heard this, but sources say that obviously Las Vegas is expected to hold Super Bowl 63. Just want to, put that out there. And I also want to do on this day in sports. I'm gonna just give the 3 points, and then you can take it and close it out, Cat. On this day, March 25th, 1995, was when Michael Jordan dropped a double nickel at the overhyped New York Knicks Stadium, Madison Square Garden. Y'all remember the double nickel game? It was so legendary. They put that joint on 2K. March 25th, 1972, the late, great Jackie Robinson, number 42, was retired. And y'all all know what happens on that day in baseball. Or not on that day in baseball, but one day in baseball, one night, have Jackie Robinson night. Everybody wears number 42. March 25th, 2016, Steph Curry became the first player in NBA history to hit 300 threes in one season. And obviously, he's in our lifetime. Those are the facts that happen on this day in sports. Just wanted to throw that out there.
That's crazy. All 3 of those, crazy. Double nickel. That's nuts, bro.
You remember that, man. You remember the double nickel. Like I said, it's so legendary. Put that joint on 2K on the Jordan move when you had to try to unlock it. You had to do the feats. Everything that he did, he had to shoot the same, either the same or a better percentage. You had to get the same amount of rebounds. Oh man. I'm waiting for one of them games to come out with the boy LBJ. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Who you think is capable of doing that right now in the NBA?
Like having some like
the double nickel.
Right now, right now, you know what? Right now, I would say it could be. I'm sorry, but it could be Wemby.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he gonna have one of them games. Not saying at the Garden, but I think one. He gonna have a game. Yo, he gonna go for 50. He gonna go for 60. He gonna be up there. He gonna drop.
After Bam did it, I think anybody
can do it.
Let me stop. Yeah.
No, just think about it, yo. Like I know 40 years from now, you know what I mean? It ain't going to hit like obviously it hit now.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say we ever happen to bump into the barbershop together, right? And this came up and somebody said, yo, name the top 3 scoring, games in NBA history. And we willed off Wilt Chamberlain, Bam Adebayo, and Kobe Bryant. You ain't gonna think for 1 second, people, Bam who? Bam Adebayo? Like, damn, I remember that's the boy that got Asia Wilson pregnant. They had the twins. Like, I mean, I don't think they're gonna be like, yo, the boy was crazy. I think that's what's wrong with it happening, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it was scripted. Yeah, he definitely went out there, obviously, and did what he did, and some things obviously happened in his favor for him to, get to that total amount of points, man. But it stinks because of the player he is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I think it stinks.
Yeah, definitely not. No Bam Adebayo, bro. I just didn't like the fact that they sold out to get them those points. They were just fouling, doing whatever.
like
I
said,
went back and looked at the
half.
highlights. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like, it wasn't like a natural, not that is nothing natural about scoring that many points, but when it's like kind of force fed and you know what I mean, like freaking designed to get them the ball and all that stuff, versus like that Kobe game, he was hot. The team, it was a back and forth game. They needed to score, like to be in the game. Like that was different. This one was like, yo, keep giving him the ball, foul. Where is he at? Like, you know what I mean? It was just one of them things, force fed and just designed to try to get him those points.
Yeah, like I said, man.
After they was cooking the team too.
Right.
That was crazy.
They still won by 30. Like they was just fouling on purpose so they can get the ball. And
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would have been on that team. I would have got a technical. I would have sent in the coach like how they be in the player in baseball. I would have been like, yo, hey, you suit up. We need to a couple flagrants on band.
When he had 79 or whatever he had, I wouldn't even foul him no more. Stop get out of here, man. Or he caught a straight elbow or something, man. Like, yo, what is you doing out here? Like, nah, you ain't about to be over top of Kobe, bro. Kobe went out there and got that joint. Like he said, it was a back and forth game. I think they was down by as much as 13 in that game. Like, yeah, Kobe got passed somebody the ball, but they damn sure wasn't fouling on purpose so Kobe could score 81 points. Like,
yo, if he would have scored 80 and took himself out the game,
on the respect,
and then the team would have did the 8-24, the 8-second violation and 24-second violation, and paid homage to Kobe. That would have been more memorable and thorough than the way they went about him getting and beating the scoring. That scoring mark.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I gotta play devil's advocate. If I could get my name in that damn record book, it's gonna get in that motherfucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that Joe.
Closing, like I said, the way he got it was corny. It was super duper
yo, he should have scored 100 though with the amount.
Yeah, I mean, he could have.
7'22". Man.
But you know, so all right. This is this is just my take, in my opinion. The substance of this question is going to be how he got it. Like I said, how he got it. We seen how he got it. We seen us. I'm talking about us on the panel. We seen how Kobe got it. And there's always that question about the Wilt Chamberlain game. Like I said, they show him running in grade school, but they ain't got him scoring this 100-point game. And I'm not saying that it's false and he didn't do it, but it's still some questions there. But like I said, we cannot, us three, cannot question and will not ever question that 81 we seen from Kobe. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yo, so real quick, I had to look this up just in case. So here's the top guys, right, in points per in the game, and we're going to really see how Bam's name like really doesn't make sense as part of this list, right? So obviously, 100 points, Wilt. Bam, obviously, like we said, 83. Bam, Kobe, 81. Wilt, 78. Makes sense, right? If he's saying, Tone, you said 40 years later, he said, yo, Luka scored 73. I can see that, right? David Thompson back in 78. David Thompson was that man, right? 73 points. Wilt, again, 73 points. Wilt, again, 73 points. So the consistency of Wilt on this list is just crazy, right? But out of all those names, 40 years later, it's like, Bam. Who's Bam? I heard of Wilt. Everybody know Kobe. David Thompson, he's in history books. I mean, he's a legend. Luka is Luka. Like, Bam? Okay.
Yeah, he's just not. Yeah, he's not going to be the player that like the NBA is going to, bring up in certain situations and certain games. And, You know what I mean? Like how they still do like Magic Johnson. Like, you know what I mean? Like he just ain't gonna have no buzz like that for to be like players when people gonna have to really look him up. You know what I mean? To see like who he was and his, as a player. Like it just don't make sense, man. I think that's what stinks. It just don't make sense.
But he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. May not be that
player,
that game, but that game is going to be.
You scared me for a second. I was like,
no, I'm with you.
That 83 didn't get him into the Hall of Fame.
No, you're right. But no, that 83, that game is he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's just like for example, going back to football real quick. Nick Foles is in the Hall of Fame for the 7 touchdown pass game that he had. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Bam is in the Hall of Fame. And he submitted. He submitted. He's always going to be remembered.
And that's why I said, Joel. That's why I said. I know what you're saying about taking yourself out the game, but look at that, man. Look at that. Like, hey, man. You can say what you're gonna say. Like obviously, we're gonna say what we're gonna say. I ain't trying to diminish anything about that. But you got a chance, man. Go ahead and get it, yeah. If you wouldn't want to see Joel Santiago, you wouldn't want to see Joel Santiago as number 2.
No, listen. The only reason I'm saying that is because that was one. Like, you know how, like, all right, so you could see that Kobe probably was someone that he looked up to during the game of him coming up as a player. Probably not so much Wilt because he was older and stuff like that. So I could see if it was Wilt's number. He's like, I don't care. I'm trying to get to that. But someone that, and again, only because of how tragic the death was and all that stuff, and the importance of the player and him possibly looking up to him as a player. But that's just me.
Now let me ask you this. On the flip side, I'm gonna talk about Kobe. Now, you think if Kobe would have had a record that Mike had, he wouldn't have passed Mike for the respect that he had for Mike?
But see, Mike didn't have.
I'm just saying. No, I ain't. We ain't gotta be specific, right. But I'm just saying, like, you don't think Kobe would have when he got that record, whatever?
Oh, Kobe would have got it. Kobe would have got it. Kobe would have got it.
And don't get me wrong. I know it's a tough question.
That's because his approach to the game.
Right. I know it's a tough question. But what I'm saying, I know Bam not that guy, but what I'm
Bam's
saying
like,
that's the kind of mentality you gotta have.
Fouling and pass me the ball so I can beat this record.
Yeah, like
Kobe's yo, we need to win this game. You know what I mean?
That's the mentality, though. That's the mentality I just think you should carry as a player. That's all.
Okay. What a great time. Episode 128. Hey, we want to thank every single one of y'all for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the show. Thanks for your comments that you gave. Thanks for the comments that you're going to give even afterwards. We do read all of those as well. My IG family, appreciate every single one of y'all being on board, especially First Lady. I do see you. Hey, Jamar, I see you in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. Arthur Tees, Miss Taya, always good to have your presence with us. It's a Philly thing. Good to see you on IG as well. Miss Breeze, it's good to see you as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us. We really appreciate it. Once again, where would we be without y'all guys? The answer to that question is nowhere at all. But it's time to shut this thing officially down. Bird Gang, what you got for the people?
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in on another episode 128 GNT Sportstalk Bird Gang. Checking out. Thank you.
Y'all already know who it is, man. The promoter, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 128 it was a blast. That's like it always be, man. But this Saturday, Laugh to Pain Away has a show down 30th and Walnut, man. The World Stage Live Center, man. So y'all follow me on IG, man. The ticket link is in the bio. Still got tickets left. So pop out, man. Kai Kim Jones, man. Steph Ox, Paulie Moore, man. Just get down there, man. Get on the promoter page, man. Get on the IG app, man. Do whatever you need to do. Hit the link, buy them tickets. I'll see y'all there Saturday night, man. And I will see y'all here again next week on GNT Sportstalk episode 120. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's get it.
My peoples, appreciate y'all once again. Just in case, for the people over in the back, in case y'all still wondering, yes, we have a pop-up shop. Oh, I'm so happy that you asked me. Yes, we have a pop-up shop. How do you get to pop-up shop? Hey, look at that. We got a QR code right there in the corner. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. Right there in the corner, we got a QR code right there. And right now, Joel, what percentage did we have off for the people?
March Madness, 20% off. On the
20%
GNT pop-up shop
off.
is active and live all the way through April 6th.
There
But
you
get it
go.
while it's hot.
There you go. And if anybody's wondering, what exactly is it? Let me go ahead and at least show y'all.
Tuned up.
Hey, yo, Chef.
And I'm feeling good. I got a feeling I'm on my way to make a couple millions. They didn't see all the hard work in the basement. They gonna see me shine bright from the ceiling. I got a feeling some gon' like it, some gon' hate it, most gon' love it. They say, you think you should boozy? I say, no, bitch, I'm bubble. I got a feeling I do what I want, ayy. I do what you can't. If you ain't putting gas in my tank or cash in my bank, I don't give a fuck what you think. I got a feeling I am the one, no, I'll never be second. And when I die, I won't just die. Cause when I die as a legend. I got a feeling.
There we go. So that's a little taste of what we have that's on the shop right now. And it's going to be updating really, really soon. So the stuff you see there may not be there later on. Give you an excuse to go ahead and dive in and grab what you want that's on there right now. Like I said, the QR code is right there in the corner. Go ahead and check us out. Go ahead and find that shirt, that hat, that jacket that doesn't fit me, but it fits somebody else. That all that stuff that's on there, go ahead and grab it as y'all guys can. Look, thank y'all guys one more time so much for tuning in for episode 128. Look, we appreciate y'all so much. We cannot wait till next week. Next week starts something major, man. We it's a very important month starting off next month that we like to go ahead and really dive into. Tone is already tapping the symbol, connected with us as well, and we're going to dive a little bit, deeper into the whole entire Autism Awareness Month, as we did last month, because it was such a inspirational thing for us to have done, and we want to continue that movement to just inspire more parents or more people with children with autism, or even adults that's still autistic, that still needs help and still needs attention. So while we're going to go ahead and do our part and spread awareness to the folks that's out there, just so y'all guys know that you're not by yourselves, and the GNT crew would definitely got your back as well. So more on that later. Looking forward to continue this conversation and doing everything else with y'all guys. Until next time, the GNT crew, we are out. Peace.